Hello, welcome to another video. This time I will make, as the title says, a contest entry into MG Lauder's World War 2. Wait, it isn't really a World War 2 contest. It's if you don't know, haven't heard about it, it's for his 60 subscribers contest. There's 3 categories basically. There's a World War 2 category, the Modern Warfare category, well, Modern Combat category, and the Sci-Fi category. And this is obviously going to be into the World War II category. Now I think I will actually be entering all 3 categories. Just try to make it win the grand prize. It would be really cool because they have really nice prizes. So if you haven't heard about it, definitely check it out. Put a link in the description to the specific video and a second link to his channel. So and this is also the first video I'm filming in my new studio. So now that's out of the way, let's get started. And first off, I want to show you the figures that I'm entering. And let me just put this a bit closer. I think that will do. There we go. Basically, you can see this is my Russian officer. He have a brick steel helmet, and this face is from Indiana Jones set, and I think this just fits perfectly for a general. Maybe not, a Russian general, but maybe Dovzhenko's face would have been better for that, but this is what I'm rolling with. And a Tokarev pistol, dark blue legs, and I actually painted that part black, to connect the legs, because that actually is appropriate to the thing, and a MMZB trench coat, all dark tan. Very nice figure. Definitely this is probably my favorite Russian guy I have. And let's show you the hat in more detail, because this hat is very detailed. Let me see if I can actually get the focus on this little thing. I don't think so. Oh, there we go. It's so detailed. It even had a little star there. Brick steel is definitely really epic. So basically there you have the general. Now the second guy, which is the tank crew for the tank they have in the back here, and the T-35. He basically have the black painted boots and pretty much most of the legs. And you have the Irina Spalko Indiana Jones torso, so there's no printing on the back, and this nice helmet with the goggles and a pair of binoculars. Really nice figure, and there's 5 that's supposed to be driving this tank, operating it, and I actually have 5 of the exact same figure here, which is really nice. And here for the last guy, which is just a normal Russian soldier with this really cool helmet. I don't know if this is correct, if it was just for some special people who had this. I'm sorry, some things, I tend to read about most things I make and everything, and I'm really interested in World War II stuff, but some things I just don't know, and I have no idea about this helmet, but I just love this combo with this guy. I think this is one more Indiana Jones face actually, and have a Puppet Shah, which is currently reloading. And that is pretty much everything for the figures, and now let's move on to the big thing, to the sort of main thing, the tank, the vehicle that I'm entering. And this is a T-35 1 Soviet heavy tank. 35 was produced and actually used. It was a pretty durable tank, but the conditions for the crew was horrible, because despite this being a huge heavy tank, it was extremely small for the tank crew, so it wasn't really being used that much, and it only have, it's a pretty odd combination, because it's a big heavy tank, but it doesn't have that long range. It had a pretty big gun. Don't remember how many millimeters the gun was. I did remember. I did actually look it up earlier today just for this review, but I've forgotten it. Didn't have that too massive a gun, despite me actually using a really big part for the gun there. But what was really unique about this tank is the fact that they have 5 turrets. As you can see, you have one main one, and then they have the smaller ones, which are There's 2 of these and 2 of the smaller ones, the very small ones here. All those rotate, by the way, and yeah, it's a really very cool looking tank, so to speak. It looks cool. It has a really unique look to it, and it's very long, as you can see. And let me get something to demonstrate the suspension. It is fully working and actually very good. There's no problems with the suspension. It always works out fine. That's probably pretty poor way to show it off, but they can go pretty far up actually. I think even I can actually post this over a brick, but you can see it just works out very nice. It's not individual suspension, but it works pretty good. So that's pretty much the side. You just have the armor over the the treads here. Very wide treads, as you can see here. I've used very wide treads for it. And for a more appropriately scaled model, because it is a bit big, maybe you would actually go ahead and use 2 wide. I think 2.5 wide would have been perfect, but we all know that won't happen. So I just went with this, which I think looks great. And here we have the very back of it, which I like. I really like the back of it, how actually smooth it is, which is kind of weird because the whole body shape doesn't suggest that there's any pretty slow part on this. And you can see I have the fuel can right up here, and now some netting and helmet. And the guns, as you can see, are Enfields, but that's because I don't really have any Russian weapon. Hopefully, Mock of the Month prices, I get some Russian weapons. That would be epic, because I don't have any. And I mean, Mosin Nagant, DP28, just all these guns I really want. And here, look, the tread went away. Yeah, the tread sits loose just to get the correct shaping here. It kind of goes like this here, and so it can actually go in for the suspension. But you can see here it actually goes in pretty far. So that's very nice. This main turret spins 360 degrees, and these small ones almost spin 360 degrees, which is kind of dumb because they only used for each side of the tank, so to speak. This one overlooked this particular area, so they sort of kind of had everyone get their share. What's 1/4 of a circle? 360. Oh my god, brain fart. 1/4 of a circle, basically. So he overlooked this part, and this guy this part, and this was basically just mounted a machine gun. This was a small millimeter cannon. I'm sorry, I've had a really rough day, so I'm not really remembering anything right now. And then the big gun, which had a machine gun on it as well, so it was pretty well armed and was really actually pretty good at close quarters. In a matter of not town and such, that would be not that good because of the very long back, but it was very good for sort of things. I think it was pretty fast even, and it was working basically not in the front line, but it was pretty useful. But like I said, it was sort of useful, sort of not, because of the lack of any big gun and a very large tank. They stopped producing. That's kind of the main reason actually, because it doesn't have any long range, and it's such a big tank. So the T-34, for example, overshadowed it by so much. Of course, the T-34 is not the only Russian tank, but just a comparison. The T-34 have a bigger gun, and it could shoot longer, and obviously the costs were a lot smaller and was much more of a durable tank. So this fella completely went out of production, but 35 was made, and they were used. Most of them, I think 30 of the 35 was used. And of course we have some opening hatches that sometimes won't open on the top there, and we have the side hatches. I don't even have to show you, but you get the message here. These can open up. Sides there. Jesus Christ. You know what it is, new parts and everything fall off. And you have the main hatch, which can open up, that sometimes doesn't really want to, but there you go. And that is pretty much it for this contest entry. I hope you have enjoyed it, and goodbye.